The key to making perfect in-betweens is 1, a good timing chart, 2, drawing them in the correct order, and 3, measuring them accurately. What if I told you you could turn your animation practice into a revenue stream? Printful is your one-stop shop for merchandise creation. It's a dedicated app. Printful gives you everything you need to design and choose the products to place on your online merchandise store. I'm particularly a fan of different customizable home goods they have, because if I put my animation motion profiles on these, every single time I'm passively working in my studio, my brain is now memorizing these drawings I've made in the past. That will help me master the art of straight ahead animation by passively observing my motion profiles. Don't you think your followers would also be interested in such passive education? They will, so give them the opportunity to learn as fast as you do by creating merchandise. You can check out Printful with the link in the description below. Place your best drawings on a piece of merchandise so you can earn from what you learn. Doesn't that feel nice? Let's get back to the video. So eventually I do want to make the in-betweens for this sequence here, but before we do that, let's kind of get the theory down. Make a new animation folder where we can just play around with this idea. Okay, now that I got my core drawings done and I've spaced out my frames in time, kind of like where we left off in our last video, I'm ready to make step 1, our timing chart. Let's go back to frame 1, grab that pencil. Now our keyframe A is going to become 1 on the timing chart because it's occurring on frame 1. It's still the drawing A, but it's going to come down as 1. Bring that down. And then let's see, 1A or our A extreme is now in frame 5. So that's 1 to 5. Now we're making our timing chart, right? So let's see, 1, 2, 1. So between 1 and 5, I only have frame 3. Insert frame 3 right here, favoring 1. That's a favor. If you don't know how to favor frames, space out frames on a time chart and measure them, I want you to watch this video here about timing and spacing, and then also this video here about how to read timing charts. I'm going point to point here. I want this to be the start of a speed up. So I'm going to start moving gradually at the start and then picking up speed here. And then we don't have a breakdown in between the A extreme and the B extreme. There's no transition because we're not going to draw a transition. We're going to use perfect in-betweens to generate a transition that your brain itself will calculate. Now we're on the A extreme to the B. This is our longest portion. We have 1A, we have, let's see, 1, 2. So 2 drawings go in between this pose and this pose. So we have 2 drawings to get there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to employ a different type of in-between, which is going to be called thirds. It's going to be 5 to 11. So let's go ahead and make our chart. 5 on top. 5 is an extreme to an 11. 11 is also an extreme. Now we're going to implement some thirds. So we're going to cut this in 3 parts. The breakdown frame would typically be here, but we're not going to use that breakdown frame, okay? Then finally, from 1B to 2, let's see, 1, 2, 3 frames. So it's going to be 11 to 17. So let's go ahead and make that chart 11. Because we're moving in such a short space, you really just want to use favors. That'll make it a little bit snappier, reduce that line wiggling effect that we don't want. Maybe a third, another favor. Okay, so now this will be, let's see, 11, this will be 13. I can actually change 13 to the third. Then I actually mismeasured. We only have 2 frames, so 13 will be a third of the way down. And 15 will be a favor. So this will be 15 right here. Okay. So good in between. Start with a good timing chart. We got the timing chart out of the way. Next, we have to make our drawings in the proper order. Now, what does that mean? Well, drawing order is basically prioritizing which in-betweens are drawn first based on measurement. Let me show you what I mean. So with this one, 1 to 5, we only have one in-between. So we know that this in-between 3 is going to be drawn first. It's pretty easy because we only have one of them. But what about when we have more than one in-between, say 7 and 9? Which in-between should we draw first? Well, maybe if 7 and 9 were both thirds, we'd be able to draw either one since they're both spaced out evenly a third away from the main drawing, but they're not. 9 is a favor. It's an arbitrary measurement very close to the 11 extreme. Since 9 is not an exact measurement, in order to get that arbitrariness, we need to be able to draw 7 first so that we can then compare 7 to 11 and make 9 favor 11. Does that make sense? 7 is going to be first. 9 is going to be second. I think this whole thing would make a lot more sense if we were using halves, but I didn't think that far. 13 and 15, same thing. 13 is a third. So we're going to draw 13 first, and we're going to make 15 second. So that's some pretty simple drawing order. It does get more complicated the more types of in-betweens that you use. So in the future, continue to watch my videos and we might get a more complicated situation that'll help guide you through that concept of drawing order. Now, lastly, we have to get correct drawing measurements. How do we measure correctly? Well, we have to know which type of in-between we're using. So in this case, 3, which we're drawing first, is going to be a favor. Our favor, frame 3, will have the slight influence of the A extreme, but still closest to A keyframe, okay? So that means favoring the first frame. So we can put the onion skin on. We can see the shift between the drawing, especially in the glasses. So I'm gonna go ahead and start drawing this 3 between, very close to the original. That's the dark blue lines. That's not the dark blue lines, I lied. That's the original is the red lines. So we're glasses going downwards slightly to the left. Now let's take this ear, right? So we're not just going in half right here in the ear and then making it just half. No, this is not a half, this is a favor, right? So we're gonna go ahead and draw it closer to that original frame. So we can have correct measurements, which will give us perfect in-betweens. Take that onion skin off, see how our in-between looks. Not terrible. But yeah, you really shouldn't be, I really don't recommend drawing in-betweens with onion skin on. I really don't have my equipment that I normally use connected, so I really would just be flipping between frames. I really don't recommend doing these in-betweens. With the onion skin on. You can get in-between syndrome where they look like just an in-between, not a really good drawing on their own merit. 7 is a third in relation to 11. So we need to draw that one first before we draw 9. So we have 7 here and 11 here. Let's put the onion table on, onion skin. So let's make our frame number 7. Okay, good. So these are our 2 frames. We kind of measure these like a line, make a line between both of them, and then split them into thirds by giving them 2 cross sections. All right, so that's basically a third. So now we know 7 is going to be right here, okay? And 9 is going to be right there. All right. So funny, you actually don't have to make your timing chart off to the side. You can draw on a path of motion. That tends to look a lot cooler. Just in case you're wondering, it's something you definitely can do. I'm gonna draw where the base of the neck connects. I think that's pretty much all I need for this. Okay, so now that we've drawn 7, it lies about there, a third from 5 and 2/3 away from 11. Now 9 is going to be right here. 9 is a favor. So let's go ahead and make that 1, 2, 9. 7 and 11 is what we use to get that favor. So we did a good job measuring 9 and the drawing looks good, but we're actually going to have to erase it because this favor we're doing on 9 is actually nullifying the effect of that B keyframe. These in-betweens actually don't look right. They're not well placed here because this accent needs to come first. So I'm actually going to switch these in-betweens. I guess that's the point. You got to have good core drawings in order to have good in-betweens. So this will be 13, 15, and 17. So in order to measure any of these really correctly, I have to draw which one first. Which do you think? guess in the comments. 3, 2, 1, I have to draw 15. Why? Well, because 15 is between 11 and 19. We can draw 15 first. It's going to be 2/3 of the way. Ends up looking like a favor anyway, because the space is so close. All right, now with 15 drawn, we can now make some favors. See how close 15 was? If we had drawn the others first, we might have not have realized how close of a third 15 was going to be. Three foundations of in-betweening: our timing charts, our drawing order, and our measurements. Want to get them all right in order to get perfect in-betweens. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope you learned something from this tutorial. If you have any questions, leave me a comment down below, and don't forget to vote for my next video so you can decide what comes next on this channel. Special thanks to Printful for sponsoring this video. Check them out in the description, everyone. Have a wonderful life. That is all from me. Peace.